There's those handful of select games that often mold many of our earliest childhood memories. These moments influenced a good deal of my creative takes and artistic design choices throughout the years. Many relationships I've made over time shared many of these similar interests, right down to our favorite video games. The TMNT franchise not only influenced a generation's youth, but the games that surrounded them, becoming some of the most celebrated titles still to this day. The arcade game was one of those moments that not only checked all those boxes for me, but also did something remarkable that no other game managed to do up until that point. Bringing together a fandom at the local level, building a camaraderie within a passionate fanbase of turtle enthusiasts and gamers alike. The very first season of TMNT was some of the absolute best illustrated story writing the animated series offered. It had that early Mirage Comics feel about it, along with a fresh new appeal about the turtles that made them easily marketable to the masses. Combine that with an extremely successful toy line, and you knew you were witnessing something special unfolding before you. With toys and VHS tapes flying off the shelves, the only question remaining was, when will we see a video game adaptation of our Teenage Turtles? Well, talks would indeed be in the works, and who better to approach them with than the leaders in innovative game design? Oh sorry, I'm not talking about Nintendo. Well, sort of. I'm talking none other than Konami. Hell, if only Konami partnered with the right hardware company in the 80s, imagine the possibilities of their own dedicated home console. They mastered any hardware they got their hands on, and it was only fitting to see them acquire the TMNT license. Putting pen to paper, Konami quickly went to work, making a home console entry for the all-new Nintendo Entertainment System, while simultaneously working on something special for the ever-changing arcade scene, a 1-2 combination that easily put Konami ahead of the pack. Konami had their hands full, but they never buckled, taking full advantage of the source material presented, basing this arcade smash hit off our 5-episode pilot. When I tell you they took the material and ran with it, they did so in a way that would change a subgenre of brawlers and beat-em-ups moving forward, introducing players to a legendary 4-player cabinet that swept the arcade scene. The arcade release of TMNT did blockbuster numbers, eventually spawning a slew of home ports, along with the infamous NES release. Why bring them up in this moment is the significance surrounding them. Their limitations drastically increase the co-op appeal the arcade game is known for. There is an alternate 2-player arcade cabinet living out in the wild, but it's far less common and frankly doesn't deserve the light of day. What makes the Turtles arcade experience truly remarkable is uniting all 4 turtles on screen, bringing this beloved animated series to life. This experience not only united a growing fan base, but an entire demographic of gamers within their communities, bonded through camaraderie as they take on the evil Shredder and his dreaded Foot Clan. Now, by the time I got into the Playmates line, there was apparently a whole nother lineage of turtles floating around out there, a far darker, far grittier one, those infamous red bandana boys that I recently managed to tie back into this game's canon somehow. Trust me, we'll get back to that. However, at a time, I knew so little about them. Still, I could sense those 4 Raphaels were the far superior ass-kickers. Yet, the pairing of the Playmates toys, along with a brilliantly executed 5-episode animated pilot, easily took the world by storm, and as it hit the airwaves, the term Turtle Power would enter our homes along with the hearts for a generation to come. By now our boys in green need no introductions, so we aren't going into a long-winded origin story just to stretch this video out. Not at all. We're diving right into the meat and potatoes of this meal, along with some of that lovely green ooze. Well, that recipe couldn't have been perfected any further, delivering us 4 adolescent personalities which bleed on over to the arcade game, chock full of witty banter throughout each scene in which the show is creatively known for. Konami took the attributes of our 4 Teenage Turtles and managed to translate that into a versatile repertoire with just enough strategic balance between the 4 to find you now looking to try each of the 4 out throughout the course of the game's entirety. Leonardo leads, as the theme song suggests, equipped with those 2 katana blades which grants him perfect range to slice and dice the fiendish foot. He's light and nimble on his feet, which makes him a well-rounded character from head to toe. Mikey further complements Leo's skill set with his own set of dual-wielding nunchucks, granting him ample speed and distance to clear a horde of oncoming enemies, all while remaining light on the feet, making either turtle an exceptional choice to start out with. On the flip side of the show, you have this sort of trade-off that balances out our remaining 2 turtles. Donatello moves a tad slower than his 3 brothers due to his exceptional reach and striking ability, cracking heads with his trusty bow staff. Raph, on the other hand, was dealt the short straw here, armed with those killer sais respectively, dealing damage in a far more confined manner, which ultimately awards him overall top speed. Each turtle gracefully controls with their personal 8-way arcade stick, along with 2 mapped out attack buttons, etched in convex or concave style, depending where you're repping from. These buttons allow our heroes to jump and attack in tandem to execute some pretty killer combinations. Trust me, as each stage unfolds, you're gonna get creative with your approach. If you're not bouncing off walls, you're slamming foot soldiers deep in the dirt, or possibly even chucking those scrap heaps across the many iconic landmarks of the turtle world. It's pretty damn satisfying taking out a parking meter with a quick flick of the wrist, impaling the next dummy whom stumbles in the frame. You can strategically line up the opposition to launch fun props like these traffic cones, or even rig an oil drum to go up in flames when the foot least expects it. Keep in mind, each turtle comes equipped with a special maneuver that will have them spiraling downwards atop their foes with an aerial attack. If you're Raphael and assume you may come up short in these moments, fear not. You will execute a sweeping jump attack, which aids his short-range game further, establishing that inner brawler he's well known to be at times. Although compared to today's standards, these skill sets are quite primitive mechanically. What I believe really makes this experience a tier above the rest is the overall presentation of this package. Konami at their very best captured the essence of the Turtles, along with perfectly illustrating their rich source material. Don't believe me? Well, you soon will, because we gotta now get a move on. April's apartment building has mysteriously caught fire, and the ravishing news reporter is currently trapped inside. Fear not, April. Our turtle boys don't slack, suited up and currently on the move as an all-new adventure now begins to unfold right before our very eyes. Flames begin to rise quickly, encapsulating the New York high-rise as the turtles lead the charge one by one, dropping down from the neighboring rooftops. Maneuvering their way through the smoldering hallways, floor by floor in pursuit of our fearless Channel 6 reporter. As the turtles swing into action, they quickly discover the catalyst behind the sudden fires, as dozens of foot soldiers can now be seen rummaging their way throughout each floor, just looking to stir up chaos. This building demo is off to a great start too, as wrecking balls begin tumbling down along the stairwells. Here you get your first taste of turtle power, dissecting a colorful assortment of the Foot Clan band. Shredder really cranked up the production values of these guys, replacing the original Foot Clan members for fodder. These roboticized infantry are equipped with some deadly applications to make short work of our turtle boys. Moments pass and you soon hear a scream up ahead, growing louder and louder until you're halted by a pack of roadkill Rodneys ascending from the debris, halting your path to rescue. These surveillance bots always gave me a tough time, zipping past you momentarily just to whip you into shape with their electrically charged offense. Dropkick these tin cans into the line of fire and proceed forward into April's not-so-luxury Upper East Side apartment. The new and improved Foot Clan continue to multiply, sporting unique paint jobs that double as identifiers for their specific tasks. To sum it up, it's a game of rocks, paper, scissors, anticipating each of their attack patterns while the surrounding elements continues to burn around you. You'll be relying on a buddy system here to clear out this brigade moving forward. The room soon begins to shake and the floorboards separate, bringing forth a mutant module housing none other than Rocksteady himself. Say your prayers, folks, because he quickly barrels his way inside, firing aimlessly like the well-trained lackey he is, looking to pump our turtles full of lead while carelessly leaving himself open to attack. He's a pretty tanky opening boss fight, to say the least, putting boot to show along with a series of stampedes that sends you packing. I always loved jump kicking the shit out of him till he gave off that oh so lovely orange Cheeto hue. Stay close to your turtle brethren till you put this menace to society out of commission. It's hard to put into words just how brilliant this opening scenario truly is, and it only ramps up from here as Shredder makes his grand debut, dropping in momentarily to scoop up our Channel 6 bestie as our turtles readily follow in hot pursuit. It's time to do some detective work, hitting the mean streets of Manhattan, looking to get answers. The Foot Clan only puts more pressure on the team moving forward as they now roam the city streets, looking to start an all-out brawl-out in Central Park. If these foolish foot aren't slicing you up with their boomerangs, they're lurking around the corner with dynamite in hand to send you packing back to the sewers below. Channel 6 has got the latest scoop on this breaking story, with April front and center on the big screen, pleading for her life as Shredder takes over the airwaves. This entire act is filled with cleverly placed props to interact with. It's these little details that make so many moments of this adventure memorable. Each stage finds clever ways to usher in the next wave of enemy encounters, giving many foot soldiers their own grand entrance. With Rocksteady out of action, we know Bebop will shortly follow, just waiting for the right opportunity to seize the moment. He soon drops in from the rooftops, looking to finish the job, He doesn't pull his punches. If you get too close, he's uppercutting the shell right off you. He can be a bit unorthodox with his patterns at times, especially when firing his laser gun. He will continue to throw hands, so just stick and move, avoiding the occasional shoulder tackle. Don't worry though, this bonehead won't have the mental space to keep it together for long, taunting you long enough to gain the upper hand. Putting Bebop down for the count gives our heroes clearance into the sewers below. It appears Shredder has now tasked the Goon Squad with poisoning the water system, while foot reinforcements bring the noise with some heavy-duty sledgehammers. These guys pack some power, and if you're not careful, you'll eventually find you've acquired a few tiny hitchhikers along the way, attached at the hands and feet for the ride. These critters will continue tunneling through the walls, looking to sink their teeth into something. If you aren't on top of this infestation early, then they're gonna be a real problem moving forward. They can put a big damper on your advances due to their size and awkward movement patterns. To make matters worse, the world-renowned scientist Baxter Stockman is at the bottom of this infestation, aligning himself with the Shredder to fund his Mouser operation, as he now gives you a demonstration what they are truly capable of in larger numbers. This fight will require teamwork, and you'll need to split up to clear out the horde. Have one brother focus in on the Mousers, while another is designated to decommissioning Baxter's latest contraption. This entire stage is a testament to the term couch co-op, highlighting the importance of teamwork. Taking back the sewers grants the Turtles access to the underground mainframe, leading them to April's location, where she remains in captive. A local parking garage full of traps and hot-wired automotives that will take out the untrained eye. Foot ninjas remain hidden, looking to run you down at any opportunity. The kidnapping is really just a ruse to lure the Turtles to the yard, where returning Bebop and Rocksteady look to settle the score, teaming up once again in comedic fashion to reenact the many brawls they often had with the Turtles. Here, just stick to the script, attempting to separate them long enough to throw them off their game, eventually coming back together the best way imaginable. Continue the pull apart and focus in on one at a time until they go down for good, reuniting our Turtles with April for a radical rescue, closing out the act with a hero's embrace. With the whole gang back together, we can now take back the city, putting the pedal to the metal in the Turtle Van across the inner city expressway. It appears these roads have been overrun by a pack of foot riding across the streets in mob fashion. These dudes will tear up the block in gang warfare, running wild across the interstate on a pack of hogs and big body caddies as if they run the block. Let them know whose turf this really is, dropkicking them in style on a collision course with a freshly poured asphalt. These guys are packed with personality, stacking up barricades with tractor trailer tires to steamroll over you. Things will soon heat up as you bust out your hoverboards on a downhill jam high above the inner city boroughs. The foot will soon take to the sky, going postal with their chopper game on lock. Keep a steady footing, jumping in rhythm to dismantle their fleet. This game likely inspired many of the memorable Playmates toy releases throughout the years, many of these contraptions receiving their very own vehicle adaptations in some form. As the stage comes to a close, the dilapidated roadways cause the Turtle Van to lose control, sending the team spiraling off the on-ramp, crashing below atop a nearby factory. Catching wind of these events, the Foot now seize the moment, abducting a wounded Splinter and sending our team in a frenzy to locate their master. The factory kicks up the action, sending a variety of new enemies and obstacles your way to mix things up. I remember my first time witnessing this mutant module popping up, assuming I was getting the mid-stage boss fight here, only to be ambushed by this colony of weaponized flies that flood the area, show-shocking my turtle with the slightest touch. The factory is revealed to be an undercover operation that leads you on a one-way ticket to the Technodrome. It's pretty apparent too, with Splinter strapped to the entrance as a peace offering. The bait worked too, luring your turtles into a trap as Granitor soon emerges, looking to carry out his orders from the higher-ups. This dude delivers one hell of a whooping. He's arguably one of the hardest boss encounters. Not only can he take a beating, but he will dish it out, using his flamethrower when you step out of range, and pistol whipping the shit out of you in close range combat. This is going to be an endurance round, so just keep at it. With persistence, his defenses will eventually fail him, leading to his defeat as he crumbles away at your feet. Rescuing Splinter means we can now take to the Technodrome, where Shredder awaits, deep inside the central control room. Well, here we are, gang. The moment of truth draws near. Deep inside the dreaded Technodrome, let me be next in line to say, this beauty doesn't disappoint. It's every bit as menacing as I anticipated it would be. This baby is armed from top to bottom with Dimension X tech, Ice pillars emerge from below to cool you to the core, and laser cannons will catch you in their crosshairs, electrifying you with a devastating shell shock. The foot soldiers continue their assault every step of the way, while roadkill Rodneys zip across the halls. This stage is also legendary due to its iconic elevator scene that later became a staple throughout so many game franchises, now slowly luring the Turtles down into the final sector. The final stretch leads to Shredder's domain, where we become greeted by Krang's first in command, General Drag. This fight is a last line of defense, separating the Turtles from the control room. After the monumental run we've been on, General Drag isn't stopping shit. He's very similar to his counterpart, only a tad slower in execution, making evading his attacks far easier. He's a breeze overall, and chiseling away at him brick by brick will render him to merely dust in the wind. And as so, the security system powers down, granting the Turtles access to the control room ahead. As our heroes enter, the portal to Dimension X appears open, and we soon discover where Shredder's been getting all his high-tech weaponry from. However, just as we do, Krang quickly emerges from the portal, looking to stop you dead in your turtle tracks. A force to be reckoned with that towers over our heroes. This menacing android body begins stomping about the room, launching his optically charged lasers throughout, frying any turtle who dares cross his path. Krang programmed a killer moveset into this sucker, quickly countering any and all attack strategies. If you even so much as stray, he'll deliver a mighty rocket punch to the gut, followed by an almighty optic blast. He's the real deal, and if you dare try to rush in on him, you're taking a big boot to the face. He's got a few blind spots which you can easily exploit if you move ever so slightly above and below him. Regardless, this is a slugfest, and taking this big brute down will set the stage for the final showdown. Enter the Shredder, a master in the art of deception, drawing forth with a series of shadow clones and optic illusions that will fool a turtle in training. He's quick to evade, so be careful when executing your attacks. If not, you're meeting the tail end of his katana blade. His retro mutagen ray gun is the X factor in this fight, set to the de-evolutionary setting. If you make direct contact with the particle rays, you're taking a trip back to prehistoric times when you were once just a tiny tortoise. It's a brutal insta-kill that continues to occur if you don't manage to locate the real Shredder throughout this fight, as he will continue to throw his shadow clones at you until you do. The key to victory is locating the real Shredhead, which you will do so by damaging his clones just long enough for their bootleg helmets to come flying off, revealing the real Shredder. Defeating the clone will inevitably spawn another, so be mindful. In the event you can't locate the real Shredder, he will eventually exhaust his ability to create more clones. Eventually, you're going 1v1 with him. Just hopefully, he doesn't break your wallet before then. Keep pummeling away until he once again meets his match. With the fearless warlord lying at your feet, the Technodrome begins to self-destruct, collapsing from within as the Turtles escape, leaving the fate of the Shredder and the Foot Clan a mere mystery to fight another day. Just like any good ending to one of our favorite episodes of the show. With the Shredder defeated, the Turtles now celebrate as their portraits are depicted high above the flashing lights as we close out this pizza-powered adventure in style. The release of TMNT the arcade game signified a turning point for the beat-em-up genre, a catalyst responsible for ushering in the now coveted golden era of arcade games. It was a movement that brought communities together to celebrate a common interest in a pop culture phenomenon which heavily influenced the artistic style and design choice that would echo throughout the arcade showrooms for years to come. By Konami adopting this early framework, they showcased what could truly be accomplished with the proper execution. In the grand scheme of things, the game is undeniably limited mechanically, more notably in input variability and versatility. Strategically, you're not going too in-depth here, making longer stretches feel more redundant or mundane at times. Levels are as straightforward as they come, further coining that notorious term we call button mashing. What may appear crippling on the surface ultimately unfolds to something beyond the well-trained eye. As you look to your left, then to your right, you're surrounded by individuals filled with a drive, fueled by a common passion for this beloved series. As the scenarios within the game quickly take shape, pulling you into the rich and immersive world of the Turtles, you teleport back to a simpler time in your life where it was just you and your three amigos kicking shell at the highest degree. The entire composition is on another level, treating us to a slew of audio and visual cues ripped directly out of the animated series, combined with an excellent mix of original sound and rearranged themes of the show. Tie that all together with a superb script of back and forth banter, and you got yourself the perfect Turtles game we fans clamor for. It's not only a testament to Konami's craft, but embodies the 90s movement The execution is flawless and will never truly be replicated unless Konami themselves serve up another helping. Speaking of helpings, I wouldn't mind going for seconds myself, with a second slice of that arcade pie that only the Turtles could deliver us. A second helping would be delivered indeed, running it back once more for another round of foot-pounding, turtle-sounding arcade action that found this 1-2 combination of entries setting the bar for each and every beat-em-up that followed. With the help of the team, the events of TMNT the arcade game officially come to a close. We can now take a moment and redirect ourselves back to our current timeline theory as well. With Shredder's latest defeat, we could say that this would be the moment the events of the second live-action movie unfold, correct? Well, yes and no. There's only one problem we still need to address. Just how did the Turtles return to the present in two separate occasions? Once in '91 during the arcade game, and the second instance in '92 during the events of Turtles 4. We must now dive into the events further, discovering when these two universes emerged and when they ultimately diverged, now bringing the theory full circle as universes unite, unfolding to the storied finale that would become the TMNT Konami timeline. The only question I present to you all now is, will I see you there, as we get ready to pop open another time capsule, traveling back to the arcades of old with TMNT Turtles in Time. See you there, gang.